Shiny Rayquaza is my favorite Pokemon. It is just so cool. Like the black with the red, a little bit of the yellow too, but I like the black and red combo. It's pretty much the mascot of this channel. I've already hunted Shiny Rayquaza in the Generation 3 games. However, I'm gonna do it again, but this time it's gonna be a lot different and a lot more preparation has to go into this so we have the highest odds of success. I shiny hunted Rayquaza in like spring of 2019. I actually got it on May 13th, 2019. So it's been like 5.5, 6 years, something like that since then. And I wouldn't have thought that I would even consider going back and trying to capture this. One of the reasons why I want to rehunt this is because I want to give it a nickname. The Rayquaza that I captured, same thing with the Beldum. I did a speedrun save file of Sapphire and I just didn't nickname Pokemon at the time. So I don't have that file. I can't transfer it back to give it a nickname. And I guess I could, hack my way into that, but I just don't really. I'd rather rehunt it than like hack my way and just to rename it. I don't know, I'm weird. And also the trainer ID or the trainer name that I caught this with is A. Like that bothers me so much. Like you guys have no idea. I wanted to say Kevin because that's me. Yeah, so nicknaming Rayquaza, and I want the trainer like name that caught it to be my name. Also, I want to capture this in a luxury ball. This is definitely the thing that requires the most preparation to go into. So I had to train up a Smeargle. We'll get to that in a little bit, but we got specific moves that we're using on it to help increase our odds of doing so. The luxury ball does not have a very high catch rate. I was running some of the numbers and the percentages on if you use a luxury ball, like trying to capture Rayquaza with that catch rate. It's pretty low, so we need a lot of luxury balls. And if you played the Gen 3 games, getting luxury balls is not like, you can't buy them. It's kind of difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. So what I decided to do, which is actually a lot of things, is kind of write down everything that I wanted from restarting my Pokemon Sapphire save file, because I have 2 Emerald games, Ruby and Sapphire. 1 Emerald game, I'm not touching that. The other Emerald game, I don't really want to restart because shiny hunting in Emerald's a little weird, especially if you're doing soft resets. I know you can do like runaways and stuff like that, but let me just do it in Sapphire. I think it's just easier. And I don't want to restart my Ruby game because I got a lot of things in there that I can use. And Sapphire, it doesn't have a save file yet, so it just makes sense. So I wrote down like all the TMs, all the move tutors that I can use so I can kind of start checking things off of things that I'm acquiring in this game that I could transfer over to my Emerald save file, or like the Emerald or Fire Red, which are my main games. I definitely want to shiny hunt the Rayquaza. I want to shiny hunt another Beldum and give it a nickname because I had the same problem with the Beldum that I did, or the Metagross that I have. I can't rename it. Also, I'm kind of hoping for better stats and IVs because its IV is, I think it's like 1 in attack. That's just not good. And maybe we'll get the Reggies again. Maybe a shiny hunt Cradily. We'll see, but those are lower priority. But anyway, I decided to restart that save file, and I was following, I think, Gunner Maniac's speedrun of Sapphire. Gunner did it in like 2 hours, I think, actually less than 2 hours, and I was following that along. I think I did it in like 3.5, 4 hours. I'm not a speedrunner, I'm pretty bad, obviously. But the purpose of that is just to get to the end game as fast as possible and start doing the things that I actually need to do in this game. And then I'll go back and actually, get the TMs and things like that. I don't. The purpose is not to enjoy the Sapphire playthrough. In a sense, it's just get to the end game and then we'll do what we gotta do. So I did do that already. Some things to note though during that playthrough is I'd used the Master Ball and Kyogre. I was kind of hoping just to get lucky by throwing, Ultra Balls and Great Balls at it. I didn't really have a good way I'd have no way inflicting it with status or like really weakening it that hard, and I had like only Swampert, so it was tough out there. But I just decided to use the Master Ball, which is a little annoying because I like to trade over the Master Balls from like other games to just have more Master Balls in a good game. And especially if you find a shiny too, which is kind of, you're kind of securing that shiny. But we're committed to the bit. We're getting Rayquaza in a luxury ball. I'm not chickening out and throwing a Master Ball at it because that defeats the whole purpose of this. Rayquaza deserves to be in that luxury ball because it is the same color combination as Rayquaza. So there's no Master Ball in that Sapphire save file. We're full sending it. And I kind of thought about this, like what if we don't get it? What if it struggles and kills itself, or what if we're tracking, the moves and it's not looking good? Well, too bad, we're doing it again. I think the purpose of this is to get it in the luxury ball because I already have shiny Rayquaza. We got to make this better. This might be an emotional roller coaster if it does, you know, decide to struggle, defeat itself, or whatever. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Also, I love versing Steven in the Elite Four in Ruby Sapphire. You guys know, Steven's like one of the coolest characters in the game. He's got some of my favorite Pokemon, but it just makes sense to see Steven in that spot. I don't understand why Wallace is there. It bothers me. But I love rematching Steven, or having the ability to do so, because he is the Elite Four, I guess, champion. Yeah. Also, I had a Linoon with the pickup ability, and I forgot how crazy the pickup ability is in Ruby Sapphire, because everything's like a flat like cost. It doesn't matter what level your pickup ability Pokemon is. You just start getting really good items right off like from the beginning. So I was getting rare candies and protein ups, or proteins and like HP ups out of nowhere. Actually, maybe not HP ups. I don't actually remember. Yeah, you can get proteins, PP ups are not HP ups, and like Ultra Balls, and it can be any level. So you get some really good items. But yeah, I got a few rare candies and nuggets too, which really helped. But yeah, the Sapphire playthrough, nothing super notable. Obviously, we just ran Mudkip or Swampert and just sent it, you know, just get in there. There's definitely a lot I have to do to go back and actually get, again, the TMs and things I want, but that'll be at a later date. So phase 1 of the Rayquaza preparation is kind of complete. We have the ability now to go and find Rayquaza. So moving into actually capturing this Pokemon, there are a couple things that we need. One, easy, is we need to get an Abra or just some Pokemon with the synchronized ability. Hey, it's future editing Kevin here. The synchronized ability does not work in Ruby Sapphire. It only works in Emerald and beyond. So I'm going to awkwardly edit out all the instances where I say the synchronized ability in this video. Next up is a Smeargle. Smeargle is pretty much key to this. We really need the most optimal Pokemon for this, because every single turn is going to matter. So we essentially need a Pokemon with Spore and False Swipe or Super Fang, just some way of reducing the HP. And because the moves are the amount of turns is so limited, we really need to have, in my head, Spore and Super Fang. Spore has a 100% chance of putting the Pokemon to sleep, and Super Fang has it'll reduce the opponent's HP by 50%, like guaranteed. When you run like the probability things for figuring out the catch rates for the Pokemon, and when you really look at it, anything from like 25 to 50% is like the same. Anything from like 1 to 25% is like roughly the same too. How I'm looking at this, and this is also based on other videos I've watched online, Super Fang and Spore, probably the best wombo combo to reducing the HP enough where your percent is highest, but not really wasting another move and lowering it even further, where your probability is only increasing a little bit. But it's probably better just to keep throwing the balls at it. And I was watching Fubuki on YouTube. Fubuki caught a Rayquaza in a luxury ball, and this was the strategy he used. So I'm just going to replicate that. Hopefully I have the same success. And I guess one thing is, you're probably wondering why I'm so concerned with this, or why we need to have this, is Rayquaza's move pool in this game at level 70 is annoying. So Rayquaza's got, where is this? Rayquaza's got Rest. Okay. Fly, Outrage, and Extreme Speed. Outrage can make it confused, and Rest, it just heals. So it's really annoying. I heard though the Outrage, if you put the Pokemon to sleep, it actually removes the confusion. So that is something we'll kind of take note of. But basically the move pool that Rayquaza has at this level, we need to be, we got to be very careful, and I really don't want to mess this up. So in my head, the Spore Super Fang combo is probably the best, and the only Pokemon that can learn that is Smeargle. So the final move pool on Smeargle is going to be Super Fang, False Swipe, Spore, and Hypnosis. The Hypnosis is kind of just going to be a backup, but yeah, I already have a trained Smeargle. It's not completely leveled up yet, but we do have it pretty far. I need to use all the PP ups as well. We're gonna need to ensure that the Spore and Super Fang, we can, you know, they're not gonna run out. We probably have to buy some ethers too. I'll probably make a note about that. Hopefully we'll not have to use those, because they do waste a turn, but we'll see how we go out. I might do a few test runs with non-shiny Rayquazas and just see how this plays out. Also, leveling up Smeargle is annoying. It can only learn moves with Sketch, and I don't really want to waste the Sketch moves on moves that'll actually attack other Pokemon, because I want to use like these moves So it doesn't really do anything. You just gotta put the EXP share in it, and you gotta have other Pokemon fight other Pokemon, you know, so it's a little difficult. But also, I didn't realize Sketch, you can only have, it makes sense, but you can only have one Sketch, the move on the Pokemon. It doesn't learn multiple sketches. So I'm like, oh, I'll just level up my Pokemon, you know, to like a higher level, and then I'll go do it all at once in like a double battle or whatever. And it turns out you can't do that. Every time you learn Sketch, you kind of need to use it on a move, so then it can relearn Sketch when it levels up. So how you do this, I didn't know before how to do it, but you gotta have a Pokemon with the move you want, go into a double battle, and then in the double battle, you click Sketch on the Pokemon, like your Pokemon that's gonna use the move that you want on Smeargle. So what I did was I trained up a Rattata to level 34 and learned Super Fang. That was relatively easy. And then I went down this huge rabbit hole where I was like, ooh, Breloom. So before I had Smeargle, I was like, ooh, let me train up a Breloom, because Breloom can learn Spore and False Swipe. I was like, that's a pretty good combo. And then I was like, well, it's got that Effect Spore ability, which is really bad if the Pokemon gets poisoned or whatever. So I was like, we're not using Breloom. I'm not taking that chance. But I was like, I was already leveling up like a Shroomish, because at level 54 is when Shroomish learns Spore. So I was grinding for like a while, leveling up a Shroomish to level 54. And then something hit me. I was like, what am I doing? Paris and Parasect learn Spore at a lower level, and I already have those in my Pokemon boxes. So I kind of wasted like a couple hours, maybe not hours, but like an hour leveling up a Shroomish when I didn't even need to. Anyway, though, I took the Paris and the Rattata, went into double battles, and we taught the Smeargle Spore and Super Fang, but I have not done Hypnosis yet. But I do have a Poliwrath and a Poliwhirl that do have Hypnosis, so once I've leveled up a few more levels, we'll go do that, and then the moveset will be complete. I already started putting the PP ups on the Pokemon too and Smeargle, so that'll be good. Some other things to consider during the battle is I'm probably going to put leftovers on Smeargle just as a way for it to heal a little bit more. It's pretty squishy. We did EV train this in attack and speed, and I did decide to get a Jolly Nature. I just went to capture a whole bunch of them, and then whatever one had a beneficial nature and speed, I picked that one. My thing is, if it's fast and it's somewhat tanky, I think we're okay. I do want it to hit first, so what'd I do? I looked up the numbers on Rayquaza's stats. At level 70, if it has max IVs and a speed beneficial nature, it'll have 174 speed. So all we need to do is have more than that, and we'll be chilling. It does have the move extreme speed, so yeah, it could still hit us, but for the most part, we'll get it done with that level of speed. I was thinking about going, more defensive too, just to be able to tank things, but I think being able to hit that Spore first, having that extra turn too, that means a lot. But yeah, I'm also going to need to buy some X accuracies, make sure I have enough potions, and I think ethers, but there's probably going to be another thing I'm going to need. X accuracies will come in handy when we use Hypnosis, or if we have to do that. And if Rayquaza uses Fly or whatever, or I guess really only uses Fly, we can pop an X accuracy, or just like X defend. Yeah, maybe I'll put that. Just something to make us a little bit more beefy when the Pokemon is flying in the air. I think supposedly you can still throw a luxury ball or Pokeballs at it in the air. I gotta check that though. I want to confirm that. The most annoying time-consuming part of this is getting the luxury balls. There are two consistent ways of getting the luxury balls. One is in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. If you beat the Master Rank contests with a Pokemon you've already beat a Master Rank contest with, the prize will always be a luxury ball. Cool, but that takes about 10 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes depending on how you want to look at it. That is a lot of time. The other way is in Fire Red, Leaf Green on, I think, the 5th island or 6th? 5th or 6th island. There's that super rich person, and you just basically show that girl a Pokemon that she wants to see, and there's like a chance you get a luxury ball. It's like a luxury ball, Big Pearl, Nugget, or I think Stardust. But I think from where I experienced, luxury ball has the highest chance, but it's not 100%. But that doesn't take that long. I didn't time it. It's probably like 2 minutes maybe. So there were two things I was considering. One is we can transfer a good Pokemon to the Sapphire game and just keep running the contests and just kind of win that way. This is good because I don't need to work in Fire Red, Leaf Green and then trade it over. However, after thinking about that, it seemed too complicated. So I was thinking probably the better thing to do is to play Fire Red, be able to get more luxury balls quicker and then trade them over, which isn't like that bad. It's definitely not the best, but it's not that bad. The thing too is we can do these at the same time, which is kind of good, which is I probably should do. Right now I think I got like 40 luxury balls. So how many do we need? That's the better question. And I know people are going to comment, you can just duplicate these or what is it, RNG manip, or just give yourself the luxury balls. I know I can do that, but I want to put in like the work for this because it makes it so much more rewarding. I know it takes a lot of time, and I know it's definitely, this is not the most best way of doing this, but it's how I kind of want to do it. But yeah, I just want it to be rewarding. I want it to feel like I really earned this, like I put in the work for it. I know some people think that's stupid, but this is how I want to appreciate and enjoy the game. So how many luxury balls do we need? So Rayquaza has 45 PP on all the moves. Not that much. However, there's Fly and Rest. Actually, no, yeah, that's 30 turns right there if it has 10 PP on that, because it'll always sleep for 2 turns. Fly is also double, so what is that, like 30? Because I'm pretty sure Fly has 15. It does, with 95% accuracy, so I mean, we can take that into account too. But essentially, there's more than 45 turns. It'll probably be more like 70, 75 turns minimum. Now, we also are using Spore, which will put the Pokemon to sleep. So man, I was actually doing this, I thought 150 Pokeballs was fine. I was thinking, you know, 45 and just multiply by like 3. But now I'm thinking about it because of the fact that the rest is like a bunch. No matter what, when that Pokemon rests, you're gonna have to use Super Fang, so that's almost a waste of a turn. So like I originally had 45 because that's raw like numbers, but then we're gonna get like an extra 20 just from rest, so we're at 65. But realistically, half of those new rest move things we're gonna have to use like Super Fang on, so we're really only getting like 10, so now we're at like 55. So maybe we actually get like 60 because then you add some extra turns from Fly, so like 60 chances. And then now we get our Spore, which is gonna put the Pokemon to sleep. So I think maybe 150 balls is like fine. At level 70, Rayquaza is asleep and has 49% HP, and we use a luxury ball. This calculator estimate from dragonflycave.com is saying we'll have about a 1.6% chance per ball of capturing the Pokemon. So if we have 44 balls, if we throw 44 Pokeballs at it, we're in like that 50% bracket or percentile kind of thing. But if we have 186 balls or opportunities, there's like a 95% chance we will have caught it. I'm pretty sure Super Fang will put it down to 49%, but if it does go to 50, then each luxury ball have a 1.2% chance of capturing. And to be in like that 50% bracket, we need 58 balls and 251 balls at 95% chance. I'm thinking 150 to 175 luxury balls is probably that sweet spot. I don't want to, again, it is going to take time to get, and I just don't want to. I want to have enough balls where it's like, okay, we're chilling, but there's obviously going to be a limit just based on how many moves a Pokemon can have. And I get we can like throw, actually no, I think we can't throw a berry at it in this game. But just the fact that like if I'm throwing like 150 Pokeballs at this thing, it's probably not meant to be, you know. We'll try it again. We'll run it back. Maybe that's like a bad way of putting it, but you know, if you're in like the 99% bracket percentile of like trying to capture Pokemon, probably ain't meant to be, man. So yeah, I'm thinking like at least 150 balls. But I'm probably going to end up doing a combination of Fire Red, getting the luxury balls there, and then bringing like a Clay Doll to the Sapphire game and running the Master Rank contest there. I think to me that just makes sense. And we can do them at the same time too. Like the best part about the Master Rank contest is we just gotta hit a couple buttons every now and then and we just watch. But yeah, that's gonna be annoying. I still need like over 100 of them. One thing too though is trading the balls between the games is actually kind of simple. We can do 6 at a time, and as long as we don't have to ever leave that like trading spot, you just stay in there, you trade your Pokemon, or you put the Pokeballs, luxury balls on a Pokemon, trade it to the other game, take them off, trade the Pokemon back, or you know, you actually just put the balls on, trade them back. It's actually kind of fast. I thought this was going to be a lot more time consuming, but it's not. But anyway, once we get all that, then we'll trade everything we need into Sapphire, and then we'll start. And the best part about this in my head is I want to get this live, and maybe not live, actually, yeah, I want it live. I have not gotten a shiny in Gen 3, maybe just at all. I don't think I've ever recorded a shiny actually happening like as I was seeing it, if that makes sense. It's always been after the fact, or like, yeah, moments after the fact. This is in my head the the pinnacle shiny. It is so cool. It is the Pokemon of the channel. I would love to get this shiny live just to capture it as like in time, and I don't, for me that would be awesome. I know everyone or a lot of people else would appreciate that too. There's so much going into this, and it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot of time. I still have hours of just luxury ball grinding, but then actually doing it live is that might take a bit too, just to get the Pokemon, and we may not even get it. That's the scary part, but also the potentially, I guess, like rewarding part as well, or the uncertainty in if we actually will get it. But I really wanted to get a shiny Pokemon live, and I think this is the one. This will be the first one, maybe. See how long it takes. But yeah, I mean, that's my strategy. So I'm doing this. I'm still not completely finished with the Smeargle. Still need the luxury balls. I've made a dent in this progress, but I wanted to kind of make a video about it, showing the preparation going into it, my thoughts like at this point, but also let me know if there's anything that I can do to improve my odds of actually getting this Pokemon, or that can help with the preparation that I should like consider for this hunt. And I just, again, I don't want to hack anything in, or I don't want to clone any items. I just would like to do it without having to do that stuff. I'd rather, you know, suffer and like, I guess, take the time to get those items if needed. But I think, yeah, pretty much I think we have almost everything we need. I think max revives is going to be important. We need the max revives. If we just use a normal revive, yeah, it's just a waste of another turn. Every turn matters. Every turn could be a roughly 1.6% chance of capturing the Pokemon, or the Rayquaza. This is definitely exciting. I wouldn't have imagined I would want to try and capture this Pokemon in a luxury ball, just because the difficulty in just getting a shiny, but then the fact of suffering to get these luxury balls and just having a chance at doing so. It's gonna hurt a lot, I know, sending all these, using up all of these luxury balls on a Pokemon, but this is the Pokemon to get it in, and it's gonna be super rewarding. So at the end, we're gonna have a shiny Rayquaza caught in a luxury ball with the name Nighthawk. That is awesome, and hopefully it's got some pretty good IVs. Not like it really matters though, because we can't use it in the frontier, but it's still like a symbol of like, look at this perfect Pokemon, you know. Anyway, that's the strategy and plan moving forward. The preparations are probably like 70% complete, just throwing a number out there. Still got some work to do. Gotta dedicate a little bit more time to getting these luxury balls and transferring them over, and then we'll get cracking on some live streams. Please let me know down below how I can potentially improve my preparation for this hunt. Thanks for watching, everybody. Definitely stay tuned for some more videos and check out some of the videos on the channel. Alright, take care.